Once upon a time in a distant land, there lived a king known not for his wisdom or bravery, but for his laziness. He had no interest in his kingdom's affairs. He cared nothing for his people, made no plans for the future, and spent every day doing just three things: eating, sleeping, and lying around. As the days passed, the kingdom began to suffer. Roads crumbled, fields dried up, and the people grew restless. They longed for a leader, someone who would lead them toward prosperity. But their pleas fell on deaf ears. The king remained lost in his indulgent, easy life, completely blind to the growing despair around him. Even the ministers, once loyal and patient, grew frustrated. They tried everything to make the king see reason, but he ignored them. His laziness grew so extreme that he gained a massive amount of weight and could barely move from his bed. Soon, word of the slothful king spread beyond the kingdom. Neighboring rulers mocked him. Enemies laughed at his weakness. And for the first time in years, the king felt something he hadn't in a long time: shame. One day, while staring at his reflection in a mirror, he barely recognized himself. A once proud king now reduced to a mere shadow of what he could have been. In that painful moment, a realization struck him like lightning. If I don't change, I will lose everything: my kingdom, my people, my honor. Determined to turn things around, he made a bold announcement: whoever helps me regain my health and strength shall be rewarded with riches beyond imagination. Doctors, healers, and physicians from all corners of the land rushed to the palace. They brought herbal potions, magic tonics, and exotic medicines. The king tried them all, but nothing worked. His weight only increased, and his health worsened. Just as all hope seemed lost, an old sage arrived at the palace gates. His beard was long, his eyes full of wisdom. "I have a remedy," he said calmly, "but the king must come to me. I do not step into palaces. The healing must begin with him." When the king heard this, he was outraged. "What foolishness!" he roared. "I can't even stand. How can I go to him?" But his ministers, desperate and hopeful, pleaded with him. "Your Majesty, this might be your last chance. Please try." Reluctantly, the king agreed. With help, he forced himself to sit up. Then, step by painful step, he began to walk. Each movement was a struggle. Each breath was heavy. But he pushed forward and reached the sage's simple hut. To his dismay, the sage was not there. A message awaited him: "Come again tomorrow." Frustrated, the king returned the next day, and the next, and the next. Days turned into weeks. Each time, the sage asked him to come back, and each time, the king walked farther and faster than the day before. After a month, the king's body had transformed. He had shed weight. His strength had returned. His face glowed with energy. Finally, one morning, the sage welcomed him with a smile. He handed the king a small cup of water and said, "Drink this. You are healed." The king sipped the water eagerly, then asked, "What is this miracle cure? My royal physicians must learn how to make it." The sage chuckled gently. "Your Majesty, this is just plain water. There was no magic potion, no secret herb. The real cure was within you. You healed yourself through effort, through perseverance, through pain and discipline." The king was stunned. For the first time, he understood there are no shortcuts. Only the road of hard work leads to true transformation. From that day on, he ruled with energy, wisdom, and compassion. The lazy king became a legend, a leader who rose from his downfall through sheer will and self-discipline.